This is Mumbai against Kolkata, match number 34 from Abu Dhabi. Now, it's crucial for several reasons. Kolkata have jumped up the table after that victory. Mumbai have slipped up as they do, as they tend to do early in the season. So, mentally speaking, Shaun, Mumbai will think, okay, our early season blush is out of the way. And how will they approach this game?
I think it is a big game for them. We know they've got a good team. We know they've got a good squad. So it won't be any surprises in the selection. I think Rohit Sharma was said to be coming back for this game. So that's a big plus to take the reins of that team again. But, I think more for Kolkata, it's a big game because they've got off to the start now. They've won that game. They've played in Abu Dhabi. So it's the same venue for them. And then they'll have to see if they can produce something quality. But when you look at that Mumbai squad, it's much like the Delhi team, isn't it? When you look at it, you really do think they've got all the bases covered, even if there are the odd injury. Hardik Pandya, I'm not too sure when he'll be back. They might give him a little bit longer to get fit and raring to go. But they've got most bases covered, and they've got a real quality side. So they'll be disappointed with the way they started. And if I know the ethos of that team, very quickly they will be wanting to get back into the winning ways. They don't like to be losing games back to back, and they don't like the feeling of it. So there'll be a real motivation. And in the context of the tournament, it's important that they get going again because, they're not sitting pretty at this stage. They're sort of in the middle there, and it's a bit of a bun fight.
Yeah, and I think fairly in terms of the 11, Rohit comes in for Almolpreet Singh, slots up the order. You still see Adam Milne did enough to hold on to his place ahead of, say, a Marco Jansen. Shaun?
Yeah, Milne, I've been impressed. I watched a bit of him in the 100 too. He had a really good tournament there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to run with him. Jansen has got potential, but I think the bigger the games start to get, the more they want to go down the avenue of the experience, I think. And then I would think they would want Quinton de Kock to find the form that we saw from him in Sri Lanka. He had a couple of good games there. He's a match winner at the top of the order. And if he combines with Rohit and they get going, that's often where games are won for Mumbai.
Now, it's not necessary that I was trying to delineate talking Mumbai with Shaun and Kolkata with Joy, but that's just the way it panned out. So let's come to the side who are on a high after that seriously good win. They couldn't have asked for a better win, a shorter game in a sense. But any areas of concern for you at this stage?
I think Kolkata is not in a situation where they have areas of concern. They have lots of blind spots. They have lots of problems. The issue is they're on a roll. They have some momentum with that first win. They have nothing to lose because, they were 2-5. So everything is a bonus. And I remember we were in exactly the same situation in 2014 when I was part of that team. It was 2-5 and then KKR won 9 in a row to win the tournament. So if they're looking at it, I'm not sure. I'm not saying it will happen every time, but they'll be looking at it one game at a time, saying, okay, we'll play the next game. Let's see what happens. After we win that game, we'll play the next game. Then we'll see what happens. I think they'll throw the kitchen sink. Again, a desperate side. I was disappointed today by Hyderabad, not because they lost, but because of the way they lost. It was a timid performance. And, you'd rather see Hyderabad crash to 101 all out or, 96 for 8, rather than, make these middling totals where no batsman looks as if he's really tried to break the shackles. And what Kolkata did very well in that first match was they broke the shackles, they went after it. And if they can do that, Venkatesh Iyer is giving them really a big fillip up front. Again, remember one thing, it's called the sophomore curse. So he's just made sure that every Mumbai bowler has seen his video, has looked at his past matches. So till you're unknown, you're okay. The moment you're known, within the next couple of days, every bowler in this tournament will know what he's about. So I wish him all the best, but it's not going to be as easy once they've looked at the video very carefully. But this is a Kolkata side that can threaten. And again, they have nothing to lose. Mumbai is in that little iffy position. If you have to catch Mumbai, this is the best time to catch Mumbai. Before they get confident again, they win a couple, they get confident. They are very difficult to beat.
For those
I
of you,
think
Frank,
for me, what I watched in that game, and what really made me feel a bit better about KKR was Andre Russell's performance. And you might say, well, why were you going along those lines? At the start of the tournament when he was playing, it looked like he was very reluctant to bowl. It looked like he was hobbling to the crease. He looked sore. And when a player of his stature in that team, with his ability, gives off a little bit of an air of, well, I don't know if I'm up for this, or it's a bit too much to me to bowl. Whereas his bowling in the last game, don't forget the results, it just looked like he wanted to be there. And I think those are important things. You can never underestimate yourself as an overseas pro or a big player in your team. How much your attitude, how much what the people see you doing, the effort they see you putting in, can have on the unit. And for me, it was good. I think that's good signs for Kolkata, if nothing else. I know the win was very convincing. But just the attitude of Russell, it looks like he was up for it. He looked like he was keen. He looks strong. He looks like he wants to be involved. And they need him to be if they are to go much further in this tournament.
Yeah, I think he wanted the ball. That's what we saw in the recent CPL as well. His team, the Talawas, didn't really do quite as well, but Russell did stand out, particularly with ball in hand. Yes, he got a 50 or 14 balls, but it was the fact that at the same time, he was willing to bend his back and bowl. That was a refreshing thought for Kolkata fans who were watching the CPL at that point in time. But a few of you have been frantically Googling the word sophomore, in case you're wondering. Term from American colleges, freshman, first year, sophomore, second year. Once you've finished your first year, that's when people are targeting you, just to clarify that. But Joy, coming back to Kolkata and the whole attitude, the timidness that you said was there for Hyderabad, combination of Brendan McCullum, Owen Morgan, that word timid can't exist in the dressing room.
It can't exist. It will not exist. And what will happen is they'll again push buttons. They'll push Sunil Narayan up if necessary, bring him in as a pinch hitter if somebody goes down. They might promote Owen Morgan. They might even promote Russell. They have nothing to lose. And they know that this is the one time that they can hit Mumbai. So that's what it is. It's an interesting game. Of course, they're playing against a side which has a captain like Rohit Sharma, who's a very, very calm man. Mahela is a calm person. Rohit is a calm person. So, Kolkata is like a prize fighter who's going to come off the ropes and start swinging immediately. Let me land a few in. And Mumbai is going to be, okay, let me see what you've got. And then they'll settle in. But Mumbai's calmness is what makes them such a great side. And I think they have a lot of firepower. So if all things go equal, I think it's still Mumbai's game. But Kolkata is not going to go lightly, I think.
Shaun, have you been in situations like that in the Mumbai dugout where you've seen a side with nothing to lose really come out firing on all cylinders, and you've had to counter that with calmness?
I think there's been plenty of those occasions, particularly when you've got firepower at the top of the order. But I think they've just such a well-balanced squad, Mumbai, and they've seen it all before. They've been to the back end of tournaments. They've been through pressure situations. And those are what stand you in good stead. Those are what make you get fully prepared and feel like you're ready for the challenge that's thrown at you. And sometimes you do this T20 format. I can think of countless games where Chris Gale, for example, had come out and got off like a raging fire at the top of the order, and you've had to sort of regroup, refocus, come up with a different plan and try and fight back. And it's about absorbing pressure. I think, whether it be as a team, whether it be as an individual, T20 cricket is all about absorbing those moments and then looking for an opportunity to apply your pressure back onto the opposition. So, as I say, they've seen it all before, and they won't be overawed if something doesn't go according to plan, and they will try and fight back and come up with ideas.